Cool. And at the time, you're telling me that you actually raised from the region, which is interesting. You were early, like gaming wasn't even. It was actually, it was a bit. There was presence, but it wasn't as it is today. What were the challenges that you faced at the time?
I think our biggest challenges was just fundraising initially. So every time we have to go fundraise, and we've raised 3 rounds. So every time I had to go fundraising, I felt that I had to kind of explain what gaming is.
Yeah,
Right. So
it's my case as well.
I literally had my pitch deck. I don't know why I thought that the closest resemblance of a gaming model was SaaS models. So my pitch deck was like a SaaS pitch deck. I was talking about CAC and LTV, and I mean, the ratios were completely off, but that was my pitch deck. And it worked because we were able to raise funding. And we were lucky because we always had traction. So we had that in our favor. But the model and the evaluations and the revenues and Kareem, how does that even work? That was the first challenge. The second challenge is the stigma around gaming being a very hit-driven business.
Yeah.
Which is true, right? It's a hit-driven business, which means some games make
sense. That's true.
Yeah,
it's not like the movie business.
Exactly.
We have that. There's some data that we base our decisions on, that we can we can improve on our games through that data. It's live data, like as opposed to like for the film industry, for example.
100%. You're absolutely right. So it looks like we face the same challenges. So I also had to really sell the fact that we're not a hit-driven business. We are going after, solid game loops, existing communities, existing users. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We're not trying to build the next Angry Birds. And that was the other thing. It was all the eyes were on the unicorn games, like your Angry Birds, your Candy Crush. And then they would say, Kareem, so what guarantees do you have that you're going to build the next Candy Crush? I was like, I'm not trying to build the next Candy Crush. So, but yeah, that's bringing a lot of nostalgia, because now the industry is a lot different. So.
But has fundraising changed for you? I mean, at the time you told me like fundraising was one of the biggest challenges.
Yep.
Is it still the case today, or is it like it has become easier, or is there less educating to do with the investors? How do you see this?
I think our story changed the most. So now we're a lot bigger of a company than we were before. So now our shift in the fundraising cycle is away from seed. It's more towards like PE actually. But so that's different. And that lends itself to you talking to more international players than local players. But when I do speak to local gaming VCs, or like local VCs, there aren't that many gaming VCs, probably one or two I can mention. When I speak to local VCs, yes, the challenge is still there. I have to
educate.
Exactly. I have to pitch deck V2.
I actually have 2 pitch decks.
One for you local.
VCs,
which is honestly, I enjoy doing. I honestly enjoy, because again, VCs are extremely intelligent and wise in how they make investment decisions. I mean, that's their job. So my job is to convert our company into a model that they can understand, and in their ratios and their risk appetite, because they need to be able to gauge the risk appetite, right? So that's, I enjoy doing this, so I don't mind this fact. And there's something cool also about educating a VC. All right, guys, let me tell you how to make money. But yeah, I think it does make it a bit difficult. And I feel that when we travel to London or Turkey or the US.
Definitely.
And I do there.
Yeah.
I almost have to like, okay, don't insult these guys.
V1,
go back to V1.
Yeah.
Exactly. But yeah, so that's something we have to, maybe an extra hat that we have to wear when you're fundraising here.
Cool. So you worked on the Turnip game, and then you raised around. By the way, I'm curious about why. I mean, if it was your intention in the first place, but were you able to raise from the US or from Latin America, for example, if your team was based in Brazil, or like was it not on your agenda in the first place? Why did you choose the region, or why were you able to raise from the region as opposed to the others? I'm trying to understand the difference in the ecosystems in gaming as well as in like normal traditional VCs. I mean,
that's a great question, and unfortunately, the answer isn't very sophisticated. It's how it happens. So